other, but without a visible motion of particles. Chief, before you go anywhere, you need to understand the actual definition of conduction. And I underline this word that there is no visible motion of particles. That's thermoconduction. So heat is being transferred from the position to the position without a visible motion of particles. You don't see the motion of particles, but there is a basic concepts. And the first, here I'm just going to start with the conduction. So heat transfer, this is actually about what we call conduction. Here we're just going to talk about convection. And we're just going to talk about radiation, the thermal radiation. Now, about the heat transfer now. Talking about actually the heat transfer is about these three methods according to your syllabus. But talking about the conduction now, let me talk about the conduction. Is where I want to focus. The first thing is about conduction. The thermal conduction. Thermal conduction. It can be electrical conduction, but this is thermal conduction. So this is just the method of transfer of heat from one position to the other motion of particles. And before you go anywhere here in conduction, you just need to understand about the basic concepts, the four basic concepts about conduction. First thing, you need to know what is insulator and what is conductor. You need to know about the lagged and unlagged material. You need to know about the mechanism of conduction, chief. And finally, you need to know the uses of conduction, thermal conduction, how the knowledge of thermal conduction has helped you. You need to know about those concepts. If you know about that, now I'm happy to move you to the other two concepts. So here we're just going to talk about conduction. We're just going to talk about actually the Fourier's law, the basic concepts, and I'm going to do about the radio lines of heat flow. Are you there? Let's move on. So let's talk about the thermal conduction. So talking about the thermal conduction here, I've just said I'm just going to discuss with you about what we say is the basic concepts. Note them down before you move anywhere. Concepts. We're just going to discuss about what we say the Fourier's law, and finally radio lines of heat flow. Okay, Chief, let's move on. Let's start with these basic concepts. I've just said there are four basic concepts that you need to understand them before you move anywhere. So talking about these concepts, I've just said about the insulators, DC conductors. You need to know. I need to confirm if you know about the first thing. The second thing that you need to know actually here, you need to know about the mechanism of conduction now. Conduction. Chief, you need to know actually what does it mean to say conduction has just a certain application. So you need to know about the uses or applications of conduction. And finally, you need to know about the lagged and unlagged material. Okay, let's discuss about these four terms. So talking about the insulators and conductors, actually the insulators is a material that doesn't allow the passage of heat through them. And you